Okay, so this video will be a brief overview of Macanta's form builder functionality, and that's then followed with videos specific to the different form types that you can have. So you access the form builder by going to admin and then the form builder. So here you can then create a form. You can give the form a title and a description. And then you can choose what type of form it is. Now, Macanta has three types of forms. A standard form is exactly that, just a standard form. So I can go here, I can say it's a standard form, and then I have the option to say, am I doing this for contacts only, or do I want to collect some information on a specific data object type as well? So let's say, for instance, I want to collect opportunities. If I choose then data object type as well, then I get to choose the person filling in the form, what relationship should they be given to the particular data object that's then created when they fill in the form. I can set a different button for the submit, the text for the submit button. I can set a thank you page redirect URL, or I can just create a thank you message. Then I have my options to add fields, where I can just go in and under the contact I can say I also want to collect first name, last name and phone number, and I want to add that there. I can also edit the group and say, well, actually I just want this to be, let's go for this one, we'll go 4 columns, so I can then go and move these around and get them into the order that I want them. And then because I've chosen opportunities, I now choose, well, out of the opportunities, what details do I want to add? And I'm going to say here, I am going to go opportunity description and related company for the moment as an example. So I can then add that in, and then I have those bits there, and again I can move things around. I can also come in and say, well, actually I'm only going to have one column and I'm going to call the group details, and I can add that group, and here I have that, and I can then make changes. So of those options there, I can go in and save that. And then I can have either here on the icon or inside, I then have access to the embed code. So I can get the JavaScript, I can get the iframe, or I can get the HTML to put on my website or wherever you need to host it. And this is unstyled, so you can see there's a preview. It's very basic. You have the freedom to style it with CSS. Whatever you need to do there is up to you. You can also, when you're using data object data, you can add file upload fields, so you can ask people for documentation. So I can go in here and say it's an upload field, and I then can have it that it's a regular field or field specific. Field specific relates to the data object type as well, which we'll look at in detail in another video. But I can then say here file upload, and I can add that in as a field type for that. And then if I go, I'll save that, and I can then preview, and then we'll be able to add those in. And when you submit the form, the files that have been added here will then be attached to the data object that is then created. So those details are generally the same for all the form types, but let's go and have a look at the other two. So integrated form is where you have a collection of data object in your app, in your Macanta. Let's say in this example I'm going to use events. So I've got a few events coming up. I've created each of them as a data object, and I want to register attendees. I want them to be able to register for the event. So what this allows you to do is to then say, okay, what type of event should be in this form? What events should they be able to choose from? So I can go here and find the start, and I'll say the event start is greater than today. So we only want events in the future, and I want it to be where the event city is either London or Manchester. Okay, so I can go and apply those filters, and that will then create, if I go to the preview, that then creates options of the data objects I already have. So when someone submits this form, we won't create a new data object, we'll connect them to an existing data object. Okay. You also have the option to then say, should it be displayed as a select field or as a radio button? How many, let's say you've got lots of events coming up over the year, you only want people to see the next 3 or the next 5. We're going to order it by the event start. We'll order it ascending, and then here I can just say choose your event, and I can save that, and then we go and save, and that's then how that will come up there. So when someone now selects, so each of the options will represent a particular data object already in your Macanta, and when I fill this form in, I'll be connected to that object with the relationship that you've set. Okay, so that's what we have there. And then our third type is what we call a two-way synced form, and that has everything a standard form has, but this doesn't generate an embeddable code. This just generates a link, because this is meant to be used with automation where you send someone a link to update their details. So you can then choose to show them their existing details, and they can then update it, upload files, add additional details, give you more information. So let's say, for instance, as an example, you're collecting information for car insurance. I might not have all the information on me when I click on the link, but I can submit the form, and then I can come back later and click on the link, and it'll show me what I've already filled in, and I can fill in the rest, upload files, whatever I need to do. So those are the 3 types. There are very much more detailed videos with examples after this one, showing you the individual form types and how they can be used.